whose labor built a nation that refused to recognize them as human. We recognize that our economy continues to rely on the exploited labor of incarcerated and undocumented people. We acknowledge the debt owed, we mourn the lives exploited and lives lost, and we commit to fight and resist white supremacy wherever it may appear. Ashe. And lastly, at a time where federal powers are increasing racist systemic practices targeting immigrant communities, we want to emphasize the importance of protecting and supporting our community members. We affirm that this is a space, right here, whose priority is to make sure all attendees feel supported, protected, and educated on their rights. La Peña is a sanctuary who commits to keeping ICE and law enforcement outside. Can we ashe to that? The power of sanctuary lies in community, and our community here at You Speaks affirms that migration is a human right. We also affirm that today is a nationwide strike against ICE. You Speak stands in solidarity with all of our sisters in the movement, and our community in the movement and in the fight. The power of youth voice in this moment is absolutely critical. Help them feel empowered when they touch this stage. Ashe? If you are looking for a place to donate, consider supporting the East Bay Sanctuary Covenant or the Friends of La Peña Migration Rights Group. Ashe. Ashe. All right, now I have the pleasure of introducing you to my Leo brother. Can we give it up for the Leo? No, y'all not feeling it? It's cool.
Hey, what's
you
up?
Know we
Yo, brother. What's going on, y'all? My name is Brandon. Can I hear a hi, Brandon? Hi, Brandon. Stop it. What's up? Who told you to say that? Amazing. So, I would love to introduce y'all to our judges for the night. Can we give it up for the judges real quick, please? Amazing. I just want to remind our judges that your job is very important tonight and that you will not do everything in your power to not be swayed by the audience. Audience, let's sway these judges, huh? Let's sway these judges. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so from your left to right, I'm going to be introducing these judges. Please, first, give it up for Leia. Leia is repping Berkeley. Can we shout out Berkeley in the space? Amazing, amazing, amazing. And Leia's advice to their teenage self is to don't give up and stay consistent. Snap it up, snap it up, snap it up. That is Leia, y'all. Next, please put your hands together for Portia. Amazing. Portia's repping Oakland. Give it up for Oakland. Oakland. Yeah. A little bit more now. Yeah. Also repping Be a Mentor. Amazing. Advice that Portia has for their teenage self is to always be yourself no matter what others think of you and to do what makes you happy. Everybody say, Yeah, you wrote that one, Portia. Amazing. Everyone please give it up for Shawan. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Give it up one more time for the Capricorns. Shawan is repping the suburbs of Chicago. Yep. Wow. And Shawan says art is important right now because art heals and connects us to our humanity and to people who nourish our spirit. Give it up for Shawan, y'all. Next person we got, please keep the same energy for Cecilia. We got a couple different places that Cecilia's repping. Give it up for Chicago one more time. Give it up for growing up in San Mateo. Also, a city council member in the city of Berkeley. Come on now. And always shouting out the motherland. Give it up for Mexico City. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Advice that Cecilia has for her teenage self is to hold on to your passion. It'll save your life and take you far. Snap it up. Absolutely. Last but not least, put your hands together for Anna. Anna's repping Berkeley. Give it up for Berkeley one more time, y'all. Amazing, amazing. And also always repping our amazing young people. Anna's advice to their teenage self is to not take things too seriously. I promise the world ain't always watching. Amazing. Please give it up for your judges one more time.
Let's go, judges.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I need you to make some noise if you're ready for our poetry slam tonight. Make some noise if you're ready for our poetry slam tonight. No, you're not. No, you're not. Not yet, because I have to go over what is a competitive poetry slam, y'all. Competitive poetry slam. A poetry slam is a competitive poetry event. We are here today, like Cece said. Hey, can we shout out Cece real quick? What an amazing host. What an amazing host. We're here to provide a platform to celebrate some of the most incredible and urgent young voices in the Bay Area. 5 judges, the 5 I just introduced to y'all, will be scoring poems on a scale of 1 to 10. We're swaying these judges, right? We swaying these judges, right? All right. Low and high scores will be dropped, so the 3 middle scores will be added together for a max total of 30 points. And in order to center the voices of our youth participants and to center the youth themselves, we will be doing some silent scoring. We will not be announcing the scores for this slam. The top scoring poets will advance to the Teen Poetry Slam semifinals on March 27th at the SF Public Library. Can we give it up for that? Hey. Amazing. And the top scoring poets from finals are offered a spot on the Brave New Voices poetry team that represents the Bay Area this summer at the 2026 BNV Poetry Festival. Can we give it up? Absolutely. We are the home team this year, so let's show them how the Bay do it. When I say yee, y'all say yee. Yee! Back to you, Cece.
Thank you. See, I have the best host ever. All right, y'all. So before we get into the reason you are all here, we want to make sure that we are all prepared and that we have what we need in this space. So I'm going to offer a content and trigger warning. Here we go. We acknowledge the words of our young folks are powerful. Poets are going to get on this mic today and speak their truth. That can include a variety of topics. And if there are any topics that you feel are maybe too intense or just a lot to hold, we have something very special for you right here in the middle of the room, which is our mental health space. This is where you can go to just take a breather, but also we have incredible support in the room. Wave again so we can see your lovely face. We have community, y'all. So poetry is part of therapy, right? We get up here, we get to share our stories, but that is not where it ends. So when you need support, because we're all going to need support at some point in our lives, you got it. We got you, okay? Ashe? Beautiful. All right, so y'all remember how I said I was a Leo, right? Y'all remember, don't play. All right, I am very dramatic, so I need you to match my energy. I'm just gonna test you really quickly, okay? Let me get my left hand, because where the left-handed people at? Okay, we're so special, look at us. Okay, so if my hand is down here, it's giving, we're in a museum and it's boring and we have nothing to say because the art looks like a 5-year-old did it, but it costs $1 million. And that's cool, you know? But when we're here, how we sounding? And then we're at the Teen Poetry Slam Prelims. Okay. Y'all didn't actually do that good. Y'all wasn't listening. So just one more time. We're here in the middle. And we're here. Y'all know what y'all doing. So really quickly, it is very, very vital that, period, exactly, okay? Follow suit. Every time a poet touches this stage, we want to hear y'all make the maximum love. So how do we show love? What y'all got? Because I know y'all not new. Okay, we got some snaps. Can I hear some stomps? Okay, listen. Period. We are ready. Are y'all ready for the slam? Y'all were really confident, and you're actually wrong. But that's okay. We are in this together. You know what I'm saying? Together. So before we get into that, we have what is called our calibration poets, okay? Their job is to break the ice, no pun intended. And in order to do that, I got to tell y'all who's on deck. Are we ready? Are we ready? So here's the crazy part. On deck is a raffle winner. Are we ready? I need a drum roll, please. All right. On deck, we have Annika. You here? Hey, you in the building? Period. All right. Beautiful. So please get ready. Now, I need y'all to give maximum love. I need to hear that go in poet, clock that T, whatever you got for the poets. Please give it up for the one and only Mallory. Clap her up to the stage. Go, go, go.
When I say I hate Christian boys, I do not mean I hate the entirety of the Christian faith and community. I feel compelled to clarify this because I want to make clear that no one should be persecuted for their beliefs. But when I say I hate Christian boys, I mean, I hate how so many Christian boys feel comfortable enough in their privilege to start believing they're God. I mean, I hate the kind of Christianity that allows you to pick and choose which parts of the Bible best serve your savior narrative and white agenda. I mean, I hate the kind of Christianity that has conveniently forgot that Jesus himself said, love thy stranger as yourself, love the immigrant, feed the poor and aid the needy before yourself. I hate the Christian boys who have forgotten the Bible says a man should gouge out his own eyes if he looks at another woman with lust. I hate the kind of Christian boys who still fuck whoever they want without permission, with crosses dangling from their necks. I hate the kind of Christian boys who say they're pro-life then hand a child over to ICE after they're born. I hate the kind of Christian boys who have forgotten Christianity wasn't even invented until after Jesus died. I hate to break it to you, bro, but Jesus was a Jew, and he was an immigrant, and he most definitely wasn't white. The apple in Genesis wasn't even an apple, and the serpent wasn't a devil, and no, Jesus didn't write the Bible himself, and no, the copy in your dad's living room is not the original. I hate the kind of Christian boys that go to private Catholic schools and don't know these things because they've told me they've never read the Bible well. How do you know that Jesus befriended prostitutes, outlaws, unhoused people, and immigrants? He asks me. Because I did read it. For the Christian Foundations class we're both taking, the Bible wasn't even written in English, and Eve wasn't made after Adam, but at the same time in Hebrew. Adam is a genderless being. There was no word for non-binary yet in English, so we called him man, and still, the Christian boy can't believe gender didn't come from God. I do not hate Christianity. I hate how it rots in the wrong hands. I do not hate God. But when a little girl comes to me crying and tells me the priest said she needs to forgive the family member who raped her when she was 9, God, I don't know how to forgive you. When another tells me her mother told her she's going to hell for tempting a man when she was 11, God, I do not know how to forgive you. When my friend tells me in Christianity suicide is a sin, which means they cannot die, but they cannot go to the church for help either, God, I don't know how to forgive you. I believe forgiveness is earned, not given, and will never make any of my children give it away to repent for sins they did not commit. I don't hate Christian boys, because the man they are praying to is not God. White boy, self-worship is not prayer. We call that masturbation. Unwrap your hands and repent.
Listen. That's how we starting off, y'all. That is how we are starting off the slam. Are y'all ready for the official Team Poetry Slam Prelims? Beautiful. All right, on deck we have Ellie, but coming to the stage, I need literally all the noise you could possibly make right now. Let's go. Let's go. Coming up to the stage is Annika.
I survived the border bleeding. Barbed wire like broken tongues, cutting prayers out of mothers' tongues, lullabies stitched shut in ICE detention centers. Songs sung through babies, through chain-link dreams and cages too cold, told memories only echoes. I survived the funeral of language, where my father's Hindi shattered like clay pots dropped in white rooms, his accent a loaded gun to men with flags for eyes, who saw our syllables as suspicious packages and stripped them from our mouths like contraband. I survived silence. Not the quiet kind, but the kind that rots in school books, where partition is a footnote, where genocide is summarized in half a paragraph, where the British drew borders with trembling hands and left ghosts to do the bleeding. I survived freedom. Yes, that freedom. The freedom etched in bronze on a statue that promises refuge. But our torch never reached the cages in Texas, LA, the ones being built here, right here in the Bay. She never bent down to meet the eyes of a 6-year-old behind plexiglass who whispered home. Like a curse he didn't understand, I survived the laws, the ones that make lungs illegal, the one that call us model minorities until we speak. One word makes us monsters, terrorists, job stealers, border crossers, but never dreamers, never daughters. Never human enough to mourn. I survived the waiting, the limbo of processing if humanity is a file, waiting for approval. Wait your turn, they say. But this land, it's always kept us waiting and has never kept its promises. I survived America. Not the one in textbooks, but the one that loves my labor while diminishing my life. The one that celebrates diversity like a slogan, but chokes on my name like a mouthful of thorns. The one where I ask where I'm really from. Even when I hand them a birth certificate, even when I was born bleeding in the city, I survived being foreign in a country built by foreigners. I survived being invisible until they needed someone to blame. I survived the classrooms where they mispronounced my name. I survived the whispers as if my tongue didn't birth empires. I survived the jobs that paid in exhaustion. I survived the systems, the cages, the quotas, the papers, the stares, the sniffled coughs as they enter a room, bags search like body scans, airports like interrogation chambers, passports like proof I'm worth surviving. I survived the myth that this country is a melting pot when really it's a pressure cooker and we're the steam they keep trying to contain. I survived the apocalypse. No one televised. No breaking news. No sirens. Because when it's not your home burning, it's just background noise. But I am not background. I am not border. I'm the body that bleeds when your politics play God. I am the quiet they tried to bury, the voice they refused to hear, and the silence they learned to scream. And I am still here. Still surviving. Still surviving. Still surviving. But one day we'll do more than just survive. With lungs made of protest, with grief stitched into every breath, with names etched into my ribs and tombstones, we will do more than just survive. We will rise from the ashes they buried us in. One day our children will not inherit rubble, they will inherit revolution. And that starts today.
Can we give it up one more time for Annika? If you agreed with anything in that poem, when I say speak, you say poet. Speak. Poet. Speak. Poet. Ashe. All right, on deck, we have Jayla. Yes, and coming up to the stage, I need y'all to make some noise. Please give it up for Allie.
You claim to be pro-life, say that life begins at conception when a man has an erection and releases his little swimmers into a woman's body. Consensual or non-consensual, you proclaim, what a miracle. Yes, what a miracle that you can't even tell the difference between a dolphin's fetus and a human's. A miracle that you protect a clump of unformed organs. over the 5-year-old little boys who you call an alien. But I guess babies are only cute and valued when they're in the womb. When all you can see is a faint heartbeat and not the color of their skin, you're quick to treat black and brown mothers as incubators, a vessel for the so-called gift of life. But you still claim to be pro-life. As you ignore the mother's pain and agony, as you give them drugs to dilate quicker, then send money to a dictator to create detonators that leave Palestinian parents searching for the remains of their babies, you turn a blind eye to the tiny bones and hands that are found by sifting through bloodied sand, but you do a 180 when a fragile little woman comes into the clinic to reclaim her body as hers. You hold signs and shout prude slurs of the Bible in your palm. That's not very Christian-like of you. I think God would disapprove. You are pro-life though, right? When you walk past the board of missing children on your way into Walmart and only feel sorry for the ones who are blue-eyed and blonde-haired, your implicit biases told you that the others probably just ran away when they disappeared. See, I knew that you never really cared. And what about the millions, we know billions of kids in the foster care system? Yes, the ones you force incapable, unprepared women to birth, the ones you choose not to see, not to help, not to adopt. You must love to overpopulate Mother Earth. This is your 8th pregnancy after all, and last I recalled, that was something you had the choice to do. No one pins you down and forces you to welcome a brand new baby into this world. No one tells you to stop spreading your legs for men. Leave that poor teenage girl alone. She knows. Trust me, she knows. And I think I'm starting to get it now. No eras por vida. Sorry, I forgot you only speak to stupidity. No, you're not pro-life, more like pro-control. You applaud the new slave patrol, ICE. You voted for innocent families to be ripped apart and sent back to a country they don't belong to. Imperialism led to cultural depletion. They came to America looking for a paradise of opportunities and were met with promises that were priced affordable only for the privileged, home of the feared land of the cage. It's never been out sweeping the streets of violent criminals. Since when was kidnapping and murdering indigenous folks biblical? I thought God said to love your neighbor as yourself. En la que es, tú eres mi otro yo. You are my other me, but I don't want to be anything like you. Pro-life my ass.
Period. Y'all heard that? I don't even have nothing else to say. Can we give it up one more time? Beautiful. All right, we're going to keep it rocking and rolling. On deck, we have Belle. But I need y'all to give all the love in the world. Coming up to the stage right now. Let me hear it. Give it up for Jayla.
Unrequited love. To have romantic feelings experienced by one person towards another who does not reciprocate the same feelings. An experience I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. People talk about it, they go on, because thanks to Frank Ocean, it was brought up in a song. There's only a few who knows how it feels to have your heart, your body, your soul yearn for one person. A few that knows the pain of knowing you could never have them. No one calls it by his name. Nowadays we call it a situationship, where we put ourselves in a position to get hurt again and again. We can't leave because we think they're the one. Pitiful. That feeling we get once it's all done, then comes rage as we lock our hearts up in a cage, seeming cold and heartless. Time goes by and all you can think of is, what if? What if I didn't do this? What if I look like that? What if I had just said no when he asked if I was comfortable doing things without a label? What if? Such thing as we can still be friends when that's all we were to begin with. If we stay friends, you'll want to tell me about your new relations, to tell me how you met this girl. I start to think I'm about to hurl. Thinking about all the things you did with me, you'll do with her, how you'll hug her the way we once did, meet her family like you met mine, kiss her how you kissed me, be her best friend. My vision will start to blur, tears start to fall as you explain how she makes you feel. You told me you loved me. I'm starting to think you only love the thought of me. You liked how I would drop everything to be there for you. Made me feel like one day will be a we, but that was never the case. There was always another girl that caught your eye. I could never be first place. Unrequited love. Something I can't seem to escape. It always happens, gets worse each time around, just in a different shape. Over time, I catch myself becoming nonchalant. This is not me. This is not the personality that I want. I've dug myself into a hole that's gotten so deep I may never get out, where it's just my body and my soul. Every experience, another knife stabbing me in my back. to the point where there is no heart, just a stone in my chest that's black. I've tried my best to keep my head held high to the point where it feels like a job. I think it's time to put my 2 weeks in and say goodbye. I love you, I really do, but it's clear you don't feel the same, so I must leave to escape this unbearable pain. Until another boy with a cute smile comes again, and it starts all over again.
Give it up one more time for Jayla. All right, y'all. Are we ready? How we feeling? We good? Do we need to? We know where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Okay. You know I gotta check sometimes. All right. On deck we have Jaden. I see you. I see you. But I need you to give all of your love right now to Belle.
One day, my rapist will be a daddy. And I imagine his wife runs into his arms, a used pregnancy test clutched in their hands. Tears sprint down her face like Sha'Carri Richardson in The 100. And you know, he'll cry too. That's what she always loved about him. Their babies are 4 now, and he comes home from work, lays his briefcase down with a thud, and each little gem jumps into his arms to hold and squeeze and kiss and cuddle. In school, they'll make misshapen hand turkeys and crumpled Father's Day cards in his honor. They'll call him a hero. He'll pack notes in their pink ladybug lunchboxes. They'll cry when he misses their recitals for work, but they'll forgive him. They'd always forgive him, and a part of me thinks that I should too. Until I remember that one day I will be a mommy. I'll be the same girl my mom was when she was raped. I mean, how many times she told me to stay safe. The pink pocket knives, the defense ring, saying no to cups of tea. I wasn't allowed to wear a bikini until my junior year of high school. She did everything right. Even if I do everything right, there's a chance I will still get that phone call. I don't want that phone call. How do you expect me to raise a child knowing that my rapist is having babies growing up in the same world I am? And when my daughters are old enough, I'll tell them to stay clear of men like him. I will teach my children not to trust any daddies. I will teach them to be afraid, just like my mother warned me no. I'll warn them of the regular, everyday daddies who walk their kiddos at the same park, who eat the same ice cream, who let their daughters do fashion shows and parades around the house just like we do, and this time, it has to be different. This time, because while he's teaching his children basic algebra and science, to shave, to date, to walk, to crawl, I will have to tell my children about the man who raped me. And I will pray that rapists don't raise rapists for my baby's sake. I love you, Mom. It was never your fault, and it still isn't.
Can I have y'all say, I see you, poet. We love you, poet. I want to give a quick reminder that in this space, poets are beyond vulnerageous. And what that means is it takes so much courage to be vulnerable on this stage. So just remember that and honor every single story that you hear tonight. Ashe? All right, y'all. Now, on deck, we have Lana. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? But I need y'all to give all of your love to Jaden.
Snake charmers across the world sing songs to calm a beast that can't be tamed. Charmers hold them, other times they make snakes dance, but they always tempt fate. And in that moment, the snake doesn't do what they're supposed to. They don't bite. They withhold animals from their nature just momentarily. I dream myself capable of controlling the uncontrollable. What makes us all humans accept a need to be the one in power. I have been gay my whole life. Though I've been honest about it for maybe 4 years, I too have temptations that could be commanded. I want to be in charge of that beast inside of me. So if I could charm the snake within me, I started with joining the football team, become the quarterback. I'd play catch with my dad and mansplain Quentin Tarantino to girls I'm out with. I would be the perfect straight man. If I could charm the gay out of me, I could finally stop being afraid of coming out to a family that won't accept me. I wouldn't be afraid of men who use me for brief sexual transactions, men who try me on like clothes, too afraid to admit who they are. And I hate to say it, but I'm afraid to admit who I am. In 9th grade, I posed as straight, formed a fake crush on a girl and pretended I wasn't in enemy territory. In 10th grade, I reprised my role to avoid the gay alley where quarterbacks punished the sheep in my wolf clothing. Those who didn't hide well enough. Snake charming originated in ancient Egypt with the intent to create a spiritual bond with these beasts, to somehow create cures for their bites. So I imagine I can charm an animal out of primal desires. I learned to mimic those songs to a mirror of a boy I don't recognize, become the wolf I'm pretending to be. I walk streets, hallways with glances, and men who yell from across the road, reminding me who I am, screaming slurs because I will always be a faggot. Faggot, faggot, faggot! I can't change who I am. I tried. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, but snakes always bite eventually. No role I play or skin I wear ever seems to stay. I always end up shedding it. And I'm on the stage because this is the only 3 minutes I can be me, 3 minutes out of this skin. So I try to charm that word out of this boy, trying to be that man who catcalls women, starts a podcast and tell girls they were asking for it. I can't create a cure for this.
Let me hear y'all say, get free, poet. Say that, poet. Okay, listen, the mic is hot, all right? Y'all are really bringing the fire, bringing the energy, so I got to make sure that we good. We good? Where we at? How we feeling? Beautiful. We are rocking and rolling. So on deck, we have Zosha. And coming to the mic right now, please give all of your love to Lana.
America's bloodiest soldiers get briefed in the school gymnasium. Taught acronyms to act as band-aids for our bullet holes. We are told to use the power of friendship to make sure that nothing bad ever happens. And then to use the power of heavy classroom objects when they eventually do. We retreat back to class armed with prayers and pleas and staples and pencils, because the older we get, the less we care. Sorry, I'm just... Sorry. Okay. Can I restart? Can I restart? America's bloodiest soldiers get briefed in the school gymnasium. Taught acronyms to act as band-aids for bullet holes. We are told to use the power of friendship to make sure bad things never happen, and told to use the power of heavy classroom objects when it inevitably does. We retreat back to class, armed to the teeth with staplers, pencils, and pleas. And the older we get, the less we care, because this is a war we age out of once we turn 18. Like soldiers of old building barricades, the football players drag desks to the corner of the classroom. The money for our protection was spent on away games, so unfortunately students' arts and lives we cut short. As we sit huddled in a corner, someone knocks at a door and wiggles the doorknob so that we can pretend like a bullet knocks before it enters and a gun doesn't realize that an empty classroom is easy target practice. Practically tempting them, we sit and remember what we've learned. In chemistry class, Schrodinger's cat, a terrible event either happens or it doesn't, and there's no way to confirm life or death until you see it. A parent drops a child off at their classroom, a terrible event either happens or it doesn't, and there's no way to confirm life or death until you see it. In English class, once more into the breach, dear friends, reverberates in our minds, echoing, making us groan and whine and inevitably scream. Theater, Chekhov's gun. If you give a gun to an 18-year-old kid at the start of a breakdown, it is bound to go off into school by the end of their story, ending so many others. Psychology, Occam's razor, the simplest solution is the best one. But solutions bleed and die in the gun chamber of the Senate. In the gun chamber of the Senate, we simply allow it to happen over and over. And when the desks are tipped, they look like the spiky backpack that a 5-year-old boy picks on his first day of school, not knowing yet that it does much less to protect him than it should, just like everybody else. Time and time again, we buy tickets to go round and round on the torturous time loop that we call America. And by God, do I want off of this roller coaster. So when a 15-year-old girl picks the Peanuts treasury off the shelf during a shelter in place, does she do it because she doesn't care about her life? Or does she do it because when she looks up, she can make eye contact with the door through the penetrable shield of protection that she has been asked to call enough?
All right, y'all. We are going to just take a quick collective breath. There are so many stories that are being told on this stage, and I want to honor those. So if you will, breathe in with me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Tell somebody next to you, what's up? You feeling good? How you feeling? That's what's up. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we need community, right? Beautiful. All right, y'all, we're going to keep it rocking and rolling. So, on deck, we have Alessandra. Where you at? Hey, girl. And coming up to the stage right now, please give all of your love to Zosha.
I walked out with my school today. I fucking love my generation, so this is a love letter to you guys. This is Ars Poetica as YouTube Shorts. House Republicans should vote to release the Epstein files because we have nothing to hide. Scroll, no, don't turn 18. You're so sexy. Scroll, yeah, pibble. Wash my belly. Scroll, Santa Claus is coming to town. Do not come to my town. Scroll. Pure patriot. Snap-a-doo, my chuckly scroll. I fantasize about sending you to a store. I fantasize about you coming back from the store. I fantasize about unloading the items you bought at the store. I fantasize about leaving one snackable item that you bought at the store on the counter. I fantasize about folding the bags you received at the store into one another. I fantasize about picking up the snackable item that you bought at the store that I left on the counter and feeding it to you and feeding it to myself. I fantasize about our agreement that the snackable item that you bought at the store that I left on the counter is pretty okay. I fantasize about repackaging the snackable item that you bought at the store that I left on the counter that we agreed was pretty okay and handing it to you to place in the cabinet. I fantasize about your hand placing. I fantasize about your arm reaching. I fantasize about your head tilting. I fantasize about glassware clinking. I fantasize about jars pressed up against one another. I fantasize about wind blowing doors open. I fantasize about water settling into a drain. I fantasize about this. Scroll ASMR. You haven't slept in 12 years. What AI dessert bed are you choosing? Scroll, good evening, Your Honor. Once again, Zosha Moser on behalf of Haley Fromholz. Scroll, okay, I'm standing on a street corner. And I see 11 Waymos pass me by. I'm like, there are way more of these than we need. Scroll, I was shot 5 times a deck. Scroll, it hit me. This delayed response. And I was trained for praise, not resentment. But now, Scroll, I want to stuff my virginity into an envelope that hides behind an ornate and poorly balanced wooden frame showcasing stamps of the supposedly dead queen, whom I am secretly patriotic towards. Scroll, 2026 is just 2016 rebranded. I'm going to tell you why. Scroll, I want to vocally dispute all supposed deaths of every celebrity whose death has supposedly occurred until a CIA agent head nods me in the direction of the disguised hotel where these supposedly dead celebrities are very much alive and keeping one another company. Scroll, vote yes. Save your democracy. Scroll 44, O'Shaughnessy. Scroll vote no. Save your democracy. Scroll you, masters of war, destroyer of worlds. You are so scroll people. I am people. I am people being people. I am people watching people. I am people watching people on a phone. I am people holding a phone. People shop for a phone. I am people. I am people starving. I am people starving people. I am people watching people starve. I am people frightened. I am people tired. I am people scared. I am people. I am people. I am people. Scroll the 6-7 trances and Illuminati scream. Scroll, you gonna let your emotional life be run by Time magazine? I'm obsessed by Time magazine. I read it every week. Its cover stares at me every time I slink past the corner candy store. I read it in the basement of the Berkeley Public Library. It's always telling me about responsibility. Businessmen, a serious movie producers, a serious, everybody's serious but me. It occurs to me that I am America. Scroll, here are the Ivy League schools that you can get into with, I don't want to say, a 3.7 GPA. Scroll, this student had a perfect GPA, a perfect SAT, and a seriously symmetrical face, and he didn't get in anywhere. Scroll, who do you think you are? Scroll, hey, don't scroll, scroll, don't scroll. Scroll, don't scroll, don't scroll, don't scroll, don't scroll. Arriving eastbound, 2-car M2. Scroll, don't scroll, don't scroll, don't scroll, scroll, don't scroll, don't scroll, 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 scroll. You've been scrolling for quite a while now. Maybe it's time to slow down, take a break, catch a breath.
Y'all about to be laughing at that for days to come, okay? Can we give it up one more time for Zosha? All right, y'all. We are rocking and rolling. So on deck, we have Sahena. Now, I need you to give all of your love to Alessandra.
Virgen de mi vida, Dios te salve María, llena eres de gracia, el Señor es contigo, pero conmigo no nunca. As a woman, I do not walk the path of your God. My existence is a resistance. Resistance to this patriarchal scheme that keeps my hands tied and my head down. Dress me in a white bonnet for this handmaid's tale I am forced to live in. Once again, I'm reminded I am just a breeding machine as I watch babies bring babies into this God-forsaken world. If she can bleed, then she can breed. If this is the greed they talk about in the Bible, pick me down piece by piece, but it will never be enough. Dissect me until you infect me with your white picket fence mentality. I must remember I have to stay clean. No scratch that, you want a girl that knows how to do it. Oh, do you like this or do you like that? Tie me up and suffocate me in your chains, then put me a cross over it and make it all okay. As if adding "it's the word of God" makes it all go away. Keep me like the Virgin Mary, pure and clean. Bendita eres entre todas las mujeres y bendita es tu fruto de tu vientre, Jesús.
Beautiful. All right, y'all, we are getting close to our intermission, but I need a drum roll. On deck, and just so y'all know, I'm being fair, okay? Everybody saw me shake it up, right? All right, on deck, we have Alora Pinto. Are you here? Beautiful. All right, so please give all of your love to Sehenna.
I hate poetry, niggas. Masking misogyny behind stanzas when that thirst of yours should put you behind bars. I have no interest in hearing your verses about love when you don't know how to give it or show it. Shit, you don't even know it. Love to you is attention. Love to you is a poetry slam where you come up to me after the show because I'm the girl that took the trophy home. The one you thought you was going to be drinking matcha lattes and twisted teas out of. And in the first time, in a long time, you remember that bitches have equal rights too. You tell me you like open mics more, because you're a lover, not a fighter. And because the points are not the point, knowing you get a boner every time someone sees you perform, call that indecent exposure. Love to you is getting free tens, because the judges thought we needed more male representation. Love to you is seeing girls whisper as you walk by, and you know it's because they're telling each other you're a 10, but you're only a poetry 10 because we don't got that many pretty options to choose from. Poetry niggas, why are all your poems about love and women and pussy? You perform poetry about why I should feel a little more bad for you, and it reminds me why I never felt bad for you in the first place. Me, myself, I, your favorite sentence starters, enders, you use these words as punctuation. Me, poetry boy, let me speak on how if I could stand on every medal, every title, on every set of shoulders of people who call me their favorite poet, I'd be 10 feet tall, poetry nigga, and I'd be looking down on you instead. Let me speak on how exhausted I am of maximus poems about issues you've never stood for, knowing damn well your knees weak enough for the wind to blow you to McDonald's during a boycott, or you're performing a poem about the difference between being alone and lonely, as if you've ever felt society's isolating grip around your throat anytime you stray from status quo, as if you've ever felt what it's like to be marginalized, knowing you that sweet as marmalade, nigga, you're from Walnut Creek, or somewhere ice hasn't been spotted yet. I don't know. I didn't care about your introduction. I was too focused on how every time I'd fix my lips to tell you to talk, you wouldn't let me speak on how I'd like you better if you wrote poems that came from you. I stare into your eyes and understand that you are a lost boy trying to sell me that you are your mask. I don't know what N-word gave you that N-word pass, but you could never pass as anything more than lonely to me. Be you, poetry boy. Write about skating with the boys, write about your mother, shit, write about how good it feels to own the world, but don't write my pain with my pen and tell me you understand, poetry boy. I hate you and your self-inflicted victim complex, poetry boy. I hate you and the underlying misogynoir in your poems, poetry boy. I hate that I feel bad for you. I hate that you don't have good friends to tell you you sound stupid. Poetry boy, I hate you.
Listen. That is the fire, okay? If any of y'all went to B&V, took home the trophy, Bay Area, okay? And we're going to do it again, so get ready. All right, on deck, we have where you at? All right. I need you to give all of your love right now to Alora.
They say justice is blind, but I see ICE's boots stomp out birthdays that never arrive, futures folded like forgotten blankets in an overcrowded tank. In 2025, 32 souls took their last breath inside ICE's walls. Hushed not by peace, but by restraint, neglect, and fear. Gerardo Lunas Campos. A life numbered, not among statistics, but children's bedtime memories. Silverio Villegas Gonzalez. A father shot down on the way to pick up his kids from school. Renee Nicole Good. A neighbor, a mother, a witness who met bullets in a Minnesota street at the hands of the state. And then a photo circulates, viral and unyielding, a 5-year-old boy in a tiny hat, a Spider-Man backpack, taken with his father miles away from home, held in a family detention center in Texas, their asylum claim still pending. They call it enforcement. I call it terror in daylight, used as bait. That's what neighbors and school officials said, but others refused to see that little boy's fear. Either way, look at that face. Look at what fear looks like without an explanation. I come from immigrant parents, not undocumented. That's not our truth, but real enough to know how this feels. To wake up wondering if your parents' papers are heavy enough to protect them or the light enough to be discarded in a courtroom far from you. I walk to school and see children, and I think of Liam, of his tiny knuckles on car doors. I think of futures paused in detention centers. I think of brothers and sisters who don't sleep because they've heard the sirens. I fear not just for my parents, but for the nation that taught me citizenship could be reduced to a piece of paper and safety could be revoked like a breath. Because even citizenship doesn't feel like armor when you watch your people die inside cages. When you hear a child's name shouted in protest, when every raid becomes a possibility, a knock at the door could be your last quiet morning. I am not safe here. Not until every name is seen, not until every child is home, not until fear can finally be called by its true name, policy. And until then, I speak.
Give it up one more time for the poets. Let me get a I see you, poet. When I say speak, you say truth. Speak. Speak. Ashe, and that is what we are here to do. All right, we're going to keep it rocking and rolling. On deck, we have Annabelle. Coming up to the stage, give all of your love to V.
I want to smile till you can see more gums than enamel. I want my teeth gapped and crooked before you tell me how my bones should look. I want my smile lines to be so deep I look like an origami folded crane. In fact, I want my body to be all creases, and I want to find them beautiful. I want so many lines you confuse me with a textbook. I want spots like you spilled ink in my seams. Then I want you to call me a work of abstract art. Analyze my unwinding threads, but never really reach a conclusion. Tell me what you perceive me as, and tell me it is a bird. I want iridescent wings to sprout from my back, and I want them to be unleveled the way my hips are. Point them out, and I will tell you how my mother made me that way. I want to wear so much makeup and body glitter, you confuse me for a street lamp and go home for dinner. I would be the brightest lamp that you can see from outer space. Call me one big fat attention seeker, and I will tell you how my euphoria is revolutionary. Every hair, feather, brush stroke is a fuck all. I want to swallow 1,000 metaphors like medication. God, are you confused yet? Is my self-love somehow more confusing than the standards of bigger, smaller, thinner, fatter, shorter, taller, softer, louder, quieter? I want to spin myself and my words and my body into 1,000 circles. This time, I choose how I'm shaped, and I am a bird. I am one happy bird. And happiness is everything they want to take from us. So spin me into everything but a person, and you will see how you can't chase this. I am not one-time use plastic meant for landfill and to be replaced by 30. This is my revolution. Joy is my defiance. And in the end, when I am dancing, you will take yourself, dragging your feet home for dinner, and I hope your plate is empty. You don't want to put on an extra pound.
Give it up one more time for the poets. Woo, this has been like the best way to spend a Friday night. How about y'all? How y'all feeling? On the same page. I love that. All right, y'all. So on deck, we have Cyro. Coming up to the stage, I need you to give all your love to Annabelle.
Dear Puppet Master, I met you in kindergarten, but we weren't really friends until the 5th grade, probably because I was a devil child and pushed other kids around. My mom tells me that's not true. I tell myself it is, because why else would you resent me behind your smiles? There were times that felt more like you really cared, but those were fleeting, interspersed with long silences and judgmental stares. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but it's been years of uncertainty, and sometimes I wish you would say the words rather than think them, even if it would hurt, because I don't want to guess anymore. I've apologized so many times in my head, but I'm afraid to use my voice. Well, my words always come out as mirror images of what I meant, a reflection, but wrong. And you judge me even more. I'm sorry I smile a lot. I'm sorry I have a loud laugh. I'm sorry that I say things without thinking. And I'm sorry I have thoughts that are different from yours. When I try to be perfect, I overthink myself onto the strings of a doll, tangling them around me until I don't even know up from down, let alone wrong from right. So I think this fear helps neither of us, because it's when I try too hard that you hate me the most. Why do you care what I say, what I do? Puppet Master, why do you watch me so carefully? Is turning me into a perfect reflection your divine calling? Am I too godless, too rash, too full of devil's joy, too bright for you to look at? I remember there was a day you called me sunshine in human form, and it made me feel like I'd aced the test of existence, because you're always right about everything. But maybe it's a curse that you laid on me. Maybe you made me too bright, and now everyone who looks at me is singed. Well, I've draped myself in shadows. Are you happy now? I've dimmed my sun until it's nothing but a purple dusk. Are you happy? I trip over myself to ask if it's okay. Are you happy? I bet you'd smile if you saw me in my corner, shoulders so tense I might break my bones. But at least I'm not saying something stupid. At least my smile is caged behind a mask of clay. I hear your words echoing in my head, your rage at me, your hatred, the chasm of my mind so full of my wrongdoings that I don't even know who I am anymore. It is only when I sink into it and listen to the words you've said that I realize they're not your words. No human would say that to another, especially not a friend. So no, those words are not yours, they are mine. And the tears that bleed out are mine, and the anger that turns against me in the end is mine.
Puppet Master, I think I found you. You live in my mind, you eat my self-esteem, you drink my confidence, and you burn my faith in myself until there's nothing left but cold and fear and tangled marionette strings. I'm sorry I put my words in your mouth, my blades in your hands. It was never your fault. It was me. It's my fear that makes me fumble, not yours. And I, the puppet, have brought the master to life. I, the puppet, am the master, and the strings are breaking in my hands as I realize it. But still, I beg. I'm a good girl. I'll sit quiet. Please, love me.
Can we give it up for the poet one more time? That was powerful. Thank you so much for sharing your work, poet. So on deck, we have an intermission and lots of random notes for you. Just hold on for that. But please give all of your love to the last poet in this round. Give it up for Cyril!
You'll regret wasting your time on things that ask nothing of you and give nothing back. Scrolling and liking, watching other people live your dreams while you stay on the couch thinking, wait till that's me. And that's exactly what you'll do. You'll keep waiting. Waiting for the right moment. It feels harmless, but it charges you in hours you'll never get back. You'll regret it one day, not in a dramatic way, but quietly, painfully. You realize how many mornings blur together, how many nights fade into nothingness. You don't even remember what you did the day before. I mean, it's not like it matters. It's just probably the same thing you do every day anyways. Nothing. You realize days turn into weeks, weeks into months, months into years, and suddenly you're older. And the time you thought you had later is gone. You gave your attention, your energy, your best focus to something that never cared whether you showed up or not. It never noticed, it never thanked you, it never grew with you. You poured yourself into a void that was designed to keep you empty. One day, you'll look back on this version of yourself standing at the edge of possibility with the whole world right in front of you. Opportunities everywhere, curiosity alive, strength unused. And you didn't even reach out to grab it. Not because you couldn't, but because you were distracted. And guess what? You'll regret it one day. When you hear older people say to you, you have so much potential, or I'm so proud of you, knowing you could have been putting more effort, more time, more hours, more work in, it hurts. The realization that you've been wasting time being distracted rather than improving, that's what will hurt the most. Not failure, not mistakes, but realizing how much potential you left untouched. How many things you loved but never pursued. How many versions of yourself you never allowed to exist. One day, you'll regret all of it. You'll regret it one day. Not because life punished you, but because you wasted the time. Because you wasted the chance to choose differently and punish yourself. And when that realization hits, it won't feel good. It'll feel heavy. You realize that all along, you were just too lazy to change. And once you see it, you start wondering, how does change actually happen? Or how do I make things better without burning everything down or waiting for some perfect moment? It turns out it's smaller than you thought. It's choosing what's in front of you instead of what's loud, doing the thing that matters, even if it feels boring, even if no one notices, letting go of distractions that promise something and deliver nothing. Focusing changes that. When you pay attention, you stop grabbing what won't last and start investing in what will. Your time, your effort, and your direction. So that one day, maybe you won't regret it. Maybe you'll be proud. That's how it shifts. Not all at once, just by choosing what actually matters again and again and letting the rest fall away. That's what I'm regretting not doing sooner.
Give it up for the poet one more time. What a beautiful way to close out our first set. So, on deck, following break, is Kamaya. So, we just want you to be ready. Look at us helping you out, okay? Now, before I let you all take a little breather, I have a couple announcements. So, is Lee in the building? Aaliyah, where you at? Where you at? Where's she at? It's okay. We're going to find her later. Don't worry about it. So, one of our facilitators, Lee, a.k.a. Knife, and another facilitator, Nairobi, and myself are going to be holding down the Youth Speaks After School Workshop series. So, to give y'all a little bit of information on that, we are holding it down in San Francisco and Oakland. So, on first Wednesdays, it'll be at Chapter 510 in Oakland, and that workshop is called The Disruptor. All I'm going to say is if you are creative and you like to do zine making and you like to put powerful messages, that is a space for you to be. If you have other questions, feel free to come holla at me afterwards. All the workshops are on Wednesdays from 5 to 7. That one is the first Wednesday. Can I get a okay? Period. Second Wednesdays, come hang out with me, y'all. So we're going to be doing Chat I Went Viral, and this is really an opportunity for you all to get your work out there in the virtual world. We are going to have some You Speak staff coming to record poets, and this is just an opportunity for us to learn and explore over the last 30 years. Y'all know You Speaks is starting at 30? Come on! I just want to say that I look like I'm younger than You Speak, so we gon' That's all you need to know, okay? All right. Third Wednesdays, Chapter 510, is Statement Fit. So it is merging poetry with fashion and style and all of these things over the last 30 years. And then the fourth Wednesday is also going to be in San Francisco, 265 Shotwell, San Francisco. You Speaks Raps, 30 years and 30 tracks. So we're going to be listening to a whole lot of hip-hop, R&B, soul, contemporary, and we're going to be writing pieces inspired by that over the last 30 years. Sound good? Beautiful. So if you want to know more information, two things you can do. You can always go to the You Speaks website, youspeaks.org, or you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, all of the things at You Speaks. We have so much going on all the time. Can I have the You Speak staff just raise your hand, make some noise where you're at? Okay, hey. Look at all these people that just volunteered to answer your questions. I love that. They're right there, right there, right there. All right, all right. See, I know what we're doing. Okay, so we have a beautiful 5-minute intermission where you are going to hear the jams if you haven't already. Come, can we give it up for our DJ, Black Woman? Y'all, I be trying to do my job. I'm like, girl, you trying to get me to dance. Stop it, okay? You have a 5-minute intermission, and we will be coming back to get into the second half of the show. Enjoy. can't hear me.
We are getting started in 2 minutes.
How we doing? Honestly, every single time. Oh, it ranges for all of us.
Hello, 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 party people. How we feeling? Wow, that was like 4 of you. Very rude. Thank you. All right, please call all of your friends, your besties, your partners in crime, maybe. I don't know. Call the people in life, in love, in liberty, in justice. Okay? Call them into the room. All right? Especially our lovely poets. Tick, tock, don't. Just kidding. I wish I was a rapper, y'all. I am not. Oh my God, thank you, because I was practicing. Don't do that. Really, Zosha? I was practicing earlier, but. Huh? You know what? Why you didn't teach me the song? That's crazy. Look at that. No, yeah. We are gonna have a quick feature by the one, the only, Halle Berry Derry. Yep. Come on up. Give it up for Derry. As Darius is coming to the stage, I need y'all to take out your phones. I know you have them. Everyone is obsessed with their phones. Please. We have 2 QR codes. And I'm going to talk about donations because this doesn't happen without community support. So scan it, donate it, $1, $5, 5,000, 5 million. Whatever you got, we'll take it, okay? And for the surveys, Halle Berry Derry. Hold on, this is a moment.
Sorry, y'all. Can't get up on that stage. I hurt my foot. All right, so this song has been debuted at our Under 21 open mic. It has won a trillion, million, zillion awards in my mind. So y'all see the QR code right there that says survey. I need y'all to do that for me in just a second. Get your phones out. Let me see your phones. Let me see your phones. Get your phones out. Phones out, phones out, phones out. Phones out, phones out, phones out. And 1, and 2, and 3. I need you to do the survey. I need you to complete the survey. I need you to take that survey so we can keep our door open. I need you to complete the survey. I need you to answer every question. I need you to do the survey. Don't forget to press submit. Thank you.
Give it up for your director.
Yeah.
poets in the room. Are we here? Are we well? Are we ready? Love to see it. Okay. Before we get started, I have to kick it to my amazing Leo brother.
What's up, y'all? Well, how we doing tonight, y'all? Amazing. Some amazing poems we heard tonight, huh? Yeah. Amazing. So, something I want to let all of the competing poets in the room know tonight is that the top three poets from this bout will be featured on a panel at KQED at Prelims number 2, February 27th. Woo! Can I hear a hell yeah for that? Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Amazing. Clap it up for the performing poets one more time tonight. Beautiful. And I'm going to kick it back to our MC, Cece.
Thank you. All right, y'all. We are so appreciative of all of the poets that have touched this stage, and we are going to get right into this next section. On deck, we have Julie. Period. All right, coming up to the stage, give all your love to Kamaya.
What I wouldn't give to be a boy. A thought that escapes my lips, causing the room to pause. I can tell that statement left everyone in awe. But is that really ridiculous to say? You can't tell me you don't notice the way women get treated, not just the looks and the stares, but I'm including the glares. The glares you get from an auntie telling you that women shouldn't dress that immodest or provocative. The glares you get from a man who doesn't know how to take rejection, looking at you like you committed the world's greatest sin just because you ain't feeling him. I wish men could see past the looks and the stares because they swear being a bad bitch means you can bat your lashes, act a little shy, and cause them to comply. Yes, being a bad bitch will make men flock, but it doesn't compare to having a cock. So don't look at me confused when I say I wish our positions were reversed, because womanhood feels like a curse. If I was a man, I'd walk in a room, head held high, shoulders back. I'd be able to slack. I could do the bare minimum. And the same voices who tell me now, work out so you won't look like a cow, who say, you don't know how to cook, that's the basics for a girl, will be the first to applaud if I were a man, yet you find me odd? If I was a man, I wouldn't have to demand for shit. Not for respect, not for power, not for a chance. I'd be trusted just off a glance. So yes, I for damn sure wish I was a man.
Give it up for the poet! Starting off this second section strong, just how we like it. All right, let's give it up for on deck. We have Zamira. Where you at? Okay. Please give all of your love to the one, the only, Julie.
Before maps learned our name, before flags argued over our sky, we were Taino breath and river prayer, bare feet pressed into land that knew us first. We spoke in wind and water, knew which plants healed and which stars returned us home. This island was not discovered, it was listening. They came with crosses and steel, calling conquest God, baptizing blood into holiness, turning gold into hunger, and disease erased villages. Names fell out of mouths, bones sank into soil, but memory stayed, spirit stayed. Spain stayed 400 years, long enough to teach us how silence sounds, how obedience feels like survival, how to kneel without praying. Sugar-field sweetened empires while black bodies cracked beneath the sun, stolen from Africa, chained into the roots of this island, forced to forget their first names and still creating new ones, becoming Puerto Rican anyway.
Then one flag fell, another rose, and they called it freedom. 1898, ownership changed hands, not lives, citizens but not equal, American but never enough. They turned vieques into a target. 1940s to 2003 called bombs training, left poison in the soil, cancer in the blood, and expected gratitude? An island sacrificed and still refusing silence. They drafted our sons into wars we didn't start, paid us less for the same labor, tested pills on our women like pain was permission. They closed factories and called it progress, promised help, delivered debt, said temporary like it hasn't lasted generation. They said commonwealth but meant control. Then the storms came, not just Maria, but neglect, but bureaucracy, but the sound of generators becoming lullabies, paper towels instead of power, press conferences instead of compassion, 3,000 dead and they debated numbers like lives are negotiable. Blackouts became routine, water a question mark, home something fragile, something you pray survives the night. Our island sold piece by piece to people who love the ocean view but not the people. Still, listen to the drums buried in our chests, to Spanish bent by Africa, by Taino syllables refusing extinction. Listen to abuelas stretching meals into miracles, to mothers turning scarcity into sustenance, to children learning resilience before multiplication. We protest, we organize, we sing, we leave and carry the island in our mouths, our accent surviving borders, our nostalgia tasting like salt, parcha, and grief. Puerto Rico is not broken. It's overworked, overlooked, overextracted, and still breathing. We are the descendants of those who were never supposed to make it, not past the ships, not past the change, not past the storms, and yet here we are, unapologetic, unfinished, and unincorporated. Boricua, still standing, still resisting, still becoming.
I love a party. Listen. Can I hear y'all say, I see you, poet? Did that. Okay, so keep it rocking, keep it rolling. On deck, we have Tay Tay. I need you to give all of your love. And what does all of your love sound like, just so I can make sure we're good? I give y'all an A. I'm a teacher, I could do that. Beautiful, A+ for sure. Please give all of your love to Zamira.
God is the truth. But is he really though? How many times has that sentence been used as a promise? How many times, how many graves are filled with the people who were told they were wrong for believing differently? How can you say that this is the truth when millions of people have been killed over this lie? When the blood has soaked into the pages you swear are holy? You use this lie to justify your actions, to justify why you shame, silence, and control, to justify why obedience matters more than humanity. And then tell me I'm wrong for daring to defy. Defy the categories they try to put me in. Boxes labeled acceptance, pure, same, normal. Boxes that were never built for me in the first place. Defy the religion they forced me to be. Forced into before I could question, before I could choose, before I could even understand what I was agreeing to. How can you tell me that God has made a way for me when I know I made a way for myself? Every step I took was my own, every survival, every escape, every breath I fought for was my own. You tell me my sole purpose in life is to serve God, serve my King of Kings. To bow, to obey, to never ask why. But I don't want to fall in line with the rest of these people who devote their life into the truth, a truth handed down, never questioned. A truth that demands silence in exchange for belonging. A truth that I refuse to believe because I believe that it is false. Because it crumbles the moment I touch it with my honest thought. It is not my truth. If your truth requires my silence, then it was never meant for me. I will not surrender my thinking to belong. You tell me God bless my heart as if kindness must come from him to be real, to be genuine. When the only thing he has cursed me with is a brain that refuses to shut off, a brain that reminds me every day how twisted this religion is, how love comes with acceptance, and acceptance has rules. How can you believe in something you have never questioned? They call it devotion,
But it feels like chains shackled to your wrists, forcing you to pray, forcing you to kneel. They call it truth, but it cannot survive questions. You would rather resist change that you might be wrong. That to see through different guises in your own, that to imagine a world where truth is not singular and faith is not forced and where thinking for yourself is not a sin. I sit in the house of worship, staring at the peeling plaster, counting cracks in the wall because thinking is not allowed here. The walls have taught me obedience matters more than thought, and followers matter more than people. I do not reject God. I reject ownership of it. You kneel, not because it's true, but because it's familiar, praising authority because it feels safer than freedom. What cannot be questioned cannot command me. I choose a life where thought is not a sin and freedom is mine. This is where I stand. This is where I stop listening. This is my truth.
Woo! Listen, y'all. This generation go crazy. Okay? Y'all, I need y'all just one time. When I say speak, you say truth. Speak. Truth. And that is what the poet did. All right, Ashe. All right. So on deck we have Hope. Can I just say I really love the supportive friendships in here? Like, wow. It was like literally the what is it, Jennifer Hudson show when you be walking down the aisle? Like, I'm trying to get that kind of love. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, please, J Hood, you right. All right. So, please give it up for Tay Tay.
I learned early that my skin walks in the room before I do. That black is a headline, a warning label, a story written for me before I'm even able. And what's crazy is sometimes I smile first, not because I'm friendly, but because I'm trying to make it home. They tell me black history like it started in chains, as if we weren't nations before we were numbers, as if our brilliance wasn't born on plantations and carried across oceans in our bones. They gave us slavery in the textbook and called it the lesson, but skipped the chapters where we're scholars, engineers, inventors, architects of rhythm and resistance. They say Harriet Tubman like she was only a story, not a tragedy. Malcolm like he was anger, not clarity. Martin like he was only a dream and not a demand. And Rosa like she was only tired and defiant. And they still say our names. They say our names like the world didn't try to erase it first. And while they minimize what survived, they maximize what they can borrow. There's still the way we talk and call us uneducated. There's still the way we dress and call us ghetto. Still our music, our slang, our dances. The art we made from nothing except the pain in our hearts. And still turn around and call us too much. They tend to look like us, plumb their lips to look like us, braid their hair to look like us, move like us, pose like us, and still look at us like we don't belong in our own bodies. They want blackness without black people. They want favor without fire. They want the style without the story, and they want the rhythm without the reality. And I know what some of you guys think I'm good for, rapping and playing basketball. So let me say this in a way that you want to understand. Listen, my life ain't entertainment, it's survival in the subtle. I'm flowing and don't react too fast. Smile so they don't make trouble. They want me polished, predictable, and proud, but on their terms. They want a black boy quiet, but somehow still loud. They want me grateful for a seat they made it illegal for me to take. They want me to clap for basic respect like it's a gift and not a stake. They want me to, I'm tired of being strong, like being strong means I can't be bruised. And I'm tired of being a man, like being a man means I can't lose. My tears got handcuffed and my fears got laughed at. My softness seen as a weakness, so I learned how to mask that. Listen, they not like us, and they can't wear this weight and still wake up and adjust. They take all the love I give and still turn it into lust, and they make me praise a system that was built on unjust. And if you're really listening, you're going to hear what I'm not saying too. Even if you're not black, this message is for you too. This is not an angry black poem, even though I'm angry and I'm black. And this is not a sad black poem, though I'm sad and I'm black. This is a cry for all the black teachers working inside the system built to mispronounce our names, still showing up with the patience in their pockets, teaching us how to read the world and rewrite it. A cry for all the black mothers who work 5 times as hard for half the credit. carrying the whole household and still being called too loud. A cry for other black men taught to turn feelings into fists and look unbreakable, even while breaking, like pain only counts if it exists. I'm talking about that black little boy, the one who didn't know his words fast enough, whose silence got read as a threat, handcuffed, slammed, and pinned down for not knowing what to say. I wish I could end this easy, wrapped up and neat, something soft for you to clap for when you end your seat, but comfort was never a promise that we meet. This poem is for every black soul who was never allowed to feel whole, for every black kid who taught early that survival means playing a role. This is for every black soul that was never allowed to feel, for every kid that learned that smiling is a steel, a shield for a world that never asked us if we heal. We are more than what happened to us, more than bruises and blame. We are rhythm and resistance, and the fire that remembers its name. So if you ever feel alone, hear me clearly and don't fold. You don't have to earn humanity, it was yours before you were told. I said, if you ever feel alone, hear the truth that I speak. You don't earn your humanity from nods of approval and peace. You had it since birth, and you had it every week, and this cry is proof that we're still here and we still breathe.
I don't even know if I have words for that. Can we give it up for the poet one more time? Thank you so much for that piece, and I really want to shout out the educators in the room because, listen, we love y'all, and we know y'all love us, and we are rocking to the end for y'all, okay? Ashe. Thank you so much, Tay-Tay. All right, on deck, I need a drum roll. Dang, even the mic got nervous. That was crazy. All right, we have Beckett. Beautiful. So, I need you to give all of your love to Ho!
I am ethnic studies. It runs through my veins from my ancestors 3 generations before and after me. I refuse to go another day and be denied the history that's supposed to be my birthright. Yes, I think I'm the shit. I'm that bitch. I deserve it all because it's mine. Tell me why you think you deserve the greatest of all time. There is royalty inside my DNA. Kleptocracy is what made yours. We are not the same. I'm the blueprint that makes up your red, white, and blue, bitch, so you can never be me. No matter how many tans, fans, or lands you think you have, think you own, think you control, you can never outdo the doer, and that is on my soul. I'm from the Bay. I rap that shit hard. When I walk in the room, heads turn as they should. When the vibes are not right, my Uncle 40 told me when to go. So you cannot make me feel as though I don't belong in a place me and my people originally owned. Because I am the people. I am the revolution. I'm not waiting for no white man to come magically save the day. Nah, that shit starts today. So don't be surprised when you see all that Make America Great Again shit be erased. Project 26 is my project, our project. It won't be denied nor declined. If you have a problem with that, say it with your chest. We'll bring our guns. Not as a weapon, but for protection, because my black man, my blackness is deadly in the eyes of the founding fathers and its little peasants that serve them as if they are still here. That's fine. I'll be the villain in your story because you won't be in mine. I'm the one who frees my people from Americanized, always telling lies, backstabbing, want to be the victim, murderers that this country loves to patronize. So with that being said, fuck ICE, fuck MAGA, fuck government, fuck America's stolen ass land, bring back Turtle Island, free Palestine, from the people, to the people, from the people. Yeah! Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Say what? Now what?
Listen! This is why we say the next generation can speak for themselves. You better go off. Give it up for Hope one more time. Love to see it. All right, y'all, on deck, we have Mia. Where you at? Beautiful. Coming up to the stage, I need you to give all of your love to Beckett Espiritu. Y'all, the poet said none of this is normal. Let's not ever normalize it. Let's give it up for Beckett one more time, y'all. Woo! Woo! Y'all, like this job is easy, but also I be like, I need a minute to digest. That was crazy. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna keep it rocking and rolling. Okay, can we, on deck. Where is the lovely Lola? Love it. Beautiful. And right now, I need you to give all of your love to Mia.
Tick tock. Do you identify as 1. Black African American, 2. Hispanic Latino, 3. White Middle Eastern? Tick tock. Well, what should I do? Identify as just one, but identify as two. Tick tock. Well, screw it. I'll just pick black. It's not like they'll let me choose the other two. Tick tock. Oh, but who am I kidding? I'm not black enough to click that box as the kids in my classroom. Hey, you say the N-word if you being black is really true. Tick tock. Well, I can't choose a second option. It's not like my face shows indigenous roots. Tick tock. Students, you need to fill out that state test. Mia, why are you so stuck on number 2? Well, because if I choose one, I'm denying the other. But what if I don't even feel like they all run through my blood altogether? Tick tock. What are you? Like I'm a math problem they can solve if they stare too long? Well, you don't sound black. You're Mexican? Say something in Spanish. Nah, she ain't Hispanic. She lacks an accent. Tick tock. I like you. You're not as dark as those other girls. Wear your hair straight over those nappy curls. Why do I feel like I'm not enough for either race? Because I don't fit into the stereotypes that were made. Why should I have to prove to you I'm really Hispanic just because complexity scares you? That's your grandma? Why does she look white? It's 2026. We still haven't got our minds around that interracial couples exist. Oh, sorry. I forgot. It's only okay because the newest trend is to have mixed kids. Tick tock. Don't tell me to pick a side. Both sides picked me. I carry ancestors who never met, whose stories argue, then harmonize in my bones. Some days being mixed feels like power. Multiple histories braided into 46 chromosomes. Music in my blood intertwined with languages in my laugh. Being mixed means loving both sides, but being treated like a guest by both. Don't call this the best of both worlds after asking me which side I loved more, which side I'm loyal to, and which side I would betray first. How does it feel to be mixed? Tick tock. They love my features until I open my mouth, praise my culture until I claim it without asking permission. Too light to be black, too loud to be Latina, too much spice for white places, too urban for honor spaces, too exotic to be normal, as if my skin hasn't been questioned, as if my hair hasn't been touched without permission, as if girlhood isn't already confusing enough. You don't act Latina enough, enough, like culture only matters if I perform it on command. Tick tock, you don't look black enough, like blackness is a uniform and I forgot to put it on this morning. They call me a blend, a mix, a fusion, but somehow they forgot the word human. I am not divided, I am doubled, I am not confused, I am becoming. I'm not split, I'm layered, is what I had to tell myself for the past 6 years just to be able to breathe, to feel confident in my own skin, and to fulfill my dreams. Tick tock, I stand here because I exist in a world that keeps asking me to justify it. Should I carry a folder of my ancestry just for you to buy it? The truth is I come from people who survived being erased, so fathom this. I don't need permission to exist. I don't need approval to be whole. I don't need space in your system because I am not misplaced. Your system is. So don't clap yet. Sit with it because I am not your diversity statistic. I'm double everything you tried to erase. So keep your questions, keep your boxes, keep your comfort because your confusion isn't my burden.
Oh my goodness! Y'all, the stage is hot up here. We got to get another hand, a round of applause. Truly, give it up! This is absolutely my favorite thing to do. Y'all are such incredible writers, storytellers, artists, everything. And the role of the artist is to reflect the times, and that is what y'all are doing. So, ashe. All right, so on deck, I need a drum roll. Yes, I can run in heels. All right. We have Poppy. Parrot. All right, so on deck is Poppy, but right now I need you to give all of your love to Lola.
A hero never looks back at an explosion. Like John Wick sets the villain's lair on fire, then blows it up, Tom Cruise's silhouette is ignited by flames from a wreckage he couldn't be bothered to look back at. And this always happens at the climax and acceptance through baptism by fire. This cliche is appropriately named the unflinching walk. It ignites a hope that the best versions of all of us would know how to leave things behind. But I've never been someone unflinching. I don't have the privileges of balls those men get. If I walk away, I'm the bitch, not the protagonist. And even if I wasn't, I'm never badass enough to not look back at destruction. Because I don't know how to leave things that don't love me alone. I know about the feeling of my body becoming numb and disassociating through the pain of hands I don't know, redefining my skin. I know the best brand of concealer to cover those bruises on your thighs where he held you down. But what I don't know how to tell you about is leaving him when it gets bad enough. I can't get myself at the door when all those men I've watched walk out of it never come back. I'm too scared of it. I fall in love with men who don't love themselves and wonder why I'm never meeting them halfway. I don't know how to love easy. I'm afraid I am the wreckage of a bomb instead of that silhouette of the man leaving. When I was young, my father was not around, and then before I got the chance to text him goodbye, he killed himself. I learned the world was harsh, and men were harsher through baptism by fire. I'm so used to watching doors close in my face, I let men rape me because I couldn't handle watching that again. Because I couldn't look into the eyes of another lover and only recognize my dad's, knowing he's in a coffin. My addictions have become self-harm in the form of loving men who will never love me back. There's a responsibility I'm reluctant to take for that, and it's buried with my father. Eventually, one of the fires you can't bring yourself to leave will create a scar too deep to patch with drugstore concealer to excuse with that deep-seated loathing you pretend to lose track of somewhere in the seat he used to sit in. One day you'll see you cannot love someone enough to make them pull those punches. You can't love a fist away from your face. You can't love someone enough to learn to love yourself. To do that, you have to leave the things that hurt you out a door that you're scared of. A hero doesn't turn around at their explosions, but I am not a hero. I am just a girl trying to stop being the fire and start being that silhouette ignited by a flame of wreckage I stop looking at.
Please give it up one more time for Lola. Again, I want to remind us of how powerful it is to be vulnerageous. When you get on this stage and you share, we get to be a part of your healing. We get to be a part of your community. And with that, I want to remind us that we have this beautiful decompression station over here. So if you are needing some support, feel free to peek over there. There is a lot of support in the room for you all. Okay, Ashe? Lovely. All right, on deck, I need a drum roll. Is Ruby here? It's like I'm announcing the Grammys. I love it. All right, so please give all of your love to Poppy. give it up for Poppy one more time. I have to shout out how much love is in this room. I love seeing y'all celebrate one another, hold space for one another, and just speak truth to power. So thank you so much, Poppy. Ashe. All right, y'all. So on deck, we have Jamaica. Where you at? You here? You here? Beautiful. Period. Hey. All right. And coming up to the stage, I need you to give all of your love to Ruby.
In the dark of recent events, we'd like to remind you, this is a developing story. Anchors clear their throats like the nation is a glass about to crack. They speak of the weather, storms, surges, pressure systems, anything but names. In the dark of recent events, men in jackets with letters stitched across their chest knock before dawn because fear is most obedient when it's sleepy. Because paperwork looks smaller when your children are still dreaming. Enforcement, they call it, like a seatbelt, like a rule we all agreed on. They don't call it a mother memorizing the floor in case it's the last room she stands in. In the dark of recent events, women's bodies are back on the ballot, passed hand to hand like a microphone that never quite reaches them. Lawmakers say protect the way a fist says hold. We are advised to remain calm as our rights are revised in committee rooms we are never in. As if autonomy were a typo, as if survival were negotiable. In the dark of recent events, the word freedom keeps getting airtime, but no one asks who's free enough to define it. It's loud on the 4th of July, quiet in the exam room, silent in the back of a van. They tell us this is unprecedented, which is a funny word for something that keeps happening. In the dark of recent events, we are asked to wait for more information, to trust the process, to understand the complexity. So we answer differently, not with pleas, not with patience. Resistance shows up in absence. Wallets closed, shifts unattended, streets quieter than they were ever meant to be. Work stops, money hesitates. The machine notices the pause because it depends on us to keep moving. This is how the people speak. Not in the light they control, but in the dark they cannot stop us from seeing through.
Let me hear you say, I see you, poet. Go off, poet. Y'all, we are getting so close to the end. Can I hear y'all say boo? What? Because we want to listen to poetry all day long, every day. All right, so on deck, we have Zoe. But right now, I need you to give all of your love to Jamaica.
I brought just one carry-on bag. And the weight of fleeting boats, 2 planes, I landed, they clapped, I didn't. I mistook desperation for ignorance. I thought, if I brought what I was in the mood for, it would be enough to mend my abuelo's heart. But it was broken a long time ago. Because in America, you're too busy to call, you're too busy to text, you're too busy to remember your tia's birthday, the light at the end of the tunnel you cruise through, but they only have light every other day. I didn't know. And when I came, After 3 years of no contact, as if my family tree were an ex left behind, I came close to empty-handed. But sometimes presence isn't enough. I don't think they know the last time they had 7 letters without chains, and they call Cubanos unlucky. Because they're stuck to mango trees, chained to coconuts, hard-headed but soft. They wish I cared a little more. Like one does in Cuba. Like one does not in California, or Oregon, or Florida. I came with just a carry-on. I thought I would pop by, and life would carry on, but I left to a wreck that was expecting a life jacket, and I thought that I was just saying a quick hi, that when I passed by, I was breaking something that shattered a long time ago. But did you know that Spanish on my tongue is like the name of the one you used to love? I think about it every day, but the syllables don't quite sit the same. I said, hola, abuela, and out came dust. There's a dynasty waiting for a princess, but I've let it sit, awaiting me. To come to my senses, defenseless and open. I prayed for a safe flight, and they pray every day for my life. My dad still tastes home in the thick quebola that slides off the Cuban link and the golden teeth. And when one leaves, he doesn't belong anywhere. So of course, I kicked up my feet and treated each sweet as if they were never ending. Dad says I'm inconsiderate, I'm selfish, cold-hearted, naive. He says I don't care about my family, I'm too busy for the important things. He called me American. Said I grew up here, and the price for those 7 letters was a lack of love. I greeted my abuelo with a hug and said, I missed you so. He said, mentira. In Cuba, they don't show love with missed calls, they show up. I brought a little carry-on with small gifts, like it wasn't quite Christmas, but I didn't know what to get them. I came to what was once Habana Vieja and saw nothing. Where there was monuments, there lacked history. And I, American, Cuban when I feel like it, sat with my little carry-on, ready to leave, and come back to my light, my bed, my life. I somehow grew up without a big enough family tree. I've forgotten everyone that makes me me.
Can we give it up for the poet one more time? Y'all are so powerful. You are so incredible. Please, please, please keep writing, keep sharing these stories. We will be here to listen, okay? Ashe? All right, y'all, we have the last poet on deck. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. Okay, but right now, so on deck we have Ayana. But I need you to give all of your love to one of our champions, Zoe!
Litany of openings in search of the root of conviction. I open conviction, and inside I find mythology. I open mythology and find story. I open story and find fantasy. I open fantasy and find longing. I open longing and find a mass of bile-soaked wood chips. I sort through the wood chips and find a cluster of fears that leave chemical burns on my hands. I pry apart the fears. And inside is the word nation. Nation crumbles at the touch, and inside is an empty playground. I enter the playground and find an infant who tells me Lacan's mirror theory is a misunderstanding of psychoanalysis. It looks like my brother or myself, because at 6 months old, we are indistinguishable. I tell the infant, I have not read Lacan. And this is how I find mythology again. Nobody has cried yet, though my hands are still burned. I do not have gloves thick enough to keep out fear. I open this deeper mythology and find a thickly colored crayon drawing of a house with 2 walls and a triangle roof. I lift up the house and find chewed up fingernails. I pick through the fingernails and find a half-used blue raspberry vape. I open the vape and find bullet casings. I open bullet casings and find romance. I discard romance as statistical error and find a handful of wet kinetic sand. I collect the sand and give it to the infant who is following me. We have left the playground. Now I find my own carotid artery. Whenever my blood is drawn, I watch the needle, but here and painless, I do not want to look. I bisect my carotid artery and find shame. I open shame with my burned hands and find a new conviction. I open conviction and find shame. I open shame 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 and find shame. I open shame.
Can we give it up for one of our chants? Go ahead, Zoe. How we feeling? Are we ready for our last poet of the night? I know. So with that said, I need you to give everything you have left to Ayana.
We are at a point where I am not the words I say. I am not the contributions I have, not the songs I sing, the poems I write. I am not the person I have, but the color of my skin. I was once taught that we are all unique fish in the sea till this nation decided their sea was not vast enough for me. I remember in middle school the tears in my teacher's eyes as she retold the fate of Anne Frank, and yet as my people cower and hide and addicts once more get filled by people and by fear, not a listening ear. Silence, where you can hear a pin drop because no one stops to think, what if it were me? Well, I don't have to think. As I drive down the highway and I see people who look like me, who think like me, like sound like me, hide away. Because maybe today's that day where whatever history we run from becomes our present, land of the free and home of the brave. Yet my grandfather was brave enough to cross, my father brave enough to serve, yet I have to walk around with all my papers to show that I deserve to be here. And tonight when I walk out this room, will there be a platoon with guns and badges gifted to men who only joined for the paycheck? Will I get a call tonight that my abuela, American as the rest, is gone for bearing the last name Flores? And I remember thinking I would save Anne Frank. And as I watch my people be herded like lambs to the slaughter, I ask you, what if it was your daughter? In the attic, in the car in Minnesota, is the woman in the porta potty to fill this ice quota? And today, I speak unafraid of being too loud or taking up too much space, because my time here will not be a waste, because I don't want people to care too late. So when you watch me on stage, know I'm not putting on a show. I am not your clown nor your jester. I am your testimony and your call in the night, because my words will continue to be silenced in a world that condones ICE.
Listen, what a better, what, there is no other way to end a show in such a way. Please give it up for Ayana. Wow, we've come to the end. I'm gonna kick it to my Leo brother.
Give it up for the poets one more time tonight, y'all. Now, my faithful, dedicated crowd, are we ready to hear who made it to semifinals? Are we ready? Make some more noise. I feel like we're right here right now. A little more, a little more, a little more, a little more. And now I'm here to tell you, no, you not. Oh, got y'all again. Because we have one more poet performance tonight. Can I get a hell yeah? We want a little bit more poetry, right? Say hell yeah. Hell yeah. I know that's right. Now please put your hands together and join me in welcoming our MC, CC.
This piece is dedicated to my nephew's son. I am a new momty to a 12-year-old. So this is dedicated to him and all of the black men in my life. If black men could live, why do black men die? Never stay too long on this side of life, like there's a secret they know about aging. Like there is too much to get old, so they poison each other, whether it be with a bullet or a mirror, overdose or a lie. There are so many ways y'all die. And I just want to know what it could be like if you lived. Because every time I see another black boy gone, I mourn my brothers, my nephew, my black men who have made home comfy in my heart, and I deserve them. To see them blossom, to see them dream, to see them fail and then succeed, to see them laugh into retirement, to see them complain about how the weather impacts them old knees, how they ain't as young as they used to be, how their charm has faded into sweetness, how the songs that raised them turn into fine wine aged so well. How they have outgrown gunplay and fast talking, how they rather watch sports on the couch with their grandchildren, how they deserve grandchildren, how they don't deserve to be made an early ancestor. In some parts of Africa, there was a vetting process for ancestors. Not everyone can be an ancestor, and they believe that only those over the age of 55 can be part of that vetting process, and yet here I am. Across an American flag are black boy bodies buried brutally, and I still want to call them ancestors because they taught. They didn't choose to give their life, but they gifted us with so much during their time. I am tired of grieving them, and I know they have got to be tired of dying, so I pray this eternal rest serves you well. Rest easy. Devon Fireson, Curtis Saunders, Emmett Till, Trayvon Martin, Ahmed, Michael Brown, Tamir Rice. None of them were gifted 30. Some not even past teenage years, but I promise, if you lived, you could be just as beautiful at 80 as the day your mother gave birth and gave her womb for your flowering. I promise, you could be just as much love as a flag that waves away the blood but stains itself with the truth of our blackness. Hold on just a little while longer. Hold on just a little while longer. Hold on just a little while longer. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. Ashe. Thank you so much. I love y'all so much. Kicking it back over to the host.
Amazing. Okay. One more time for CC, y'all. All right, now are we ready to hear the 10 poets who advance to semifinals? Are we ready? No, I'm kidding. Can I have all the performing poets tonight walk up to the stage? On the stage. Everyone else, clap it up for them until they're on the stage. Until all the poets are up.
Give it up for the poets! Give it up for the poets!
Until all of them are touching the stage. Let's keep this applause going. Say, we heard y'all, poets.
We heard y'all, poets.
We heard y'all, poets.
We heard y'all, poets.
You killed that poet.
You killed that poet.
You healed that poet.
You healed that poet.
One more time for our performing poets tonight, y'all.
Get closer. Be in the community. Okay, let's go, DJ.
All right, y'all. Some reminders before we end this off, right? We are going to have a closing poet circle. We're going to have a closing poet circle, all right? And for the top 3 poets of the night, Derry, can I have you raise your hand, please? You will be speaking to Derry after your closing poet circle. If you understood, say yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Now, without further ado, starting from bottom to the top, so from 10th to 1st, can I get a drum roll, please? We got our continuing poets, Alora!
Let's go!
Next, we have Julie!
Let's go,
Now give it up for Beckett! Keep your hands together for Ayana! Give it up for Lola! Give it up for Jamaica! Next is Mia! And now we are at our top 3, y'all. We are at our top 3. Remember who y'all seeing? Derry. And third, please give it up for Belle!
She's hiding.
And second, put your hands together for Sahena! Now give it up for your first place, Zoe! Amazing. Belle, Sahena, Zoe, after the closing poet circle, please go ahead and see Derry. Thank you all so much for coming out. Please clap it up for the poets one more time. All right, and can I have all of the poets gather together for a nice group photo?
Listen to my fellow short people. It's okay. Come on, right on down here. Okay. Got you.
Amazing. All my poets, real quick, if you did not make it, this is not your final chance to make it to semis. Remember that we have a prelims number 2, February 27th at KQED, and we have a last chance slam, April 10th at Oak Stop. Give it up for yourselves. The fact that you touched the stage tonight, told your story, is an amazing feat. Not everyone can do that. Everyone, one more time for the poets!
All right, lovely poets. We are doing our poets huddle. Don't be trying to run. I'm just playing, y'all. We are gonna do it on stage, and we will be quick, and then we will let you go be celebrities. All right? Thank you, audience. Get home and do all the things. And this has been a Youth Speaks production. And the next generation speaks for itself.
Woo! Thank y'all so much.